I'm Jordan Belfort, and this is Sales School. All right, it's clear that nature had absolutely no idea what to do with testicles. They're always hanging out, flopping around, or sticking to your legs, probably the worst of the three, and that is why Tommy John created the ultimate hammock pouch. I have it on right now, I'm telling you. These underwear, when you're wearing Tommy John's, the hammock pouch, you are that much more comfortable. You can do everything better. There's literally dozens of comfort innovations here. Once you've tried Tommy John underwear, and I'm not just saying this because I'm getting paid. I'm serious. I am wearing them now and absolutely love this underwear. And I usually don't like underwear. I mean, it annoys me because it's sticking to me. It's like riding up. They've sold 13 million pairs of these. So there's balls all across America. Not as great as my balls, but they love Tommy John underwear because everything stays in place with no flopping, no sticking, no chafing. I think flopping is the worst. Either way, Tommy John underwear has a non-rolling waistband as well. Perfect fit. Legs don't ride up. You're covered with Tommy John's best pair you'll ever wear. And it's a free money-back guarantee. So right now, here's the deal. You'll get 20% off site-wide at TommyJohn.com/school. That's 20% off underwear and loungewear at TommyJohn.com/school. TommyJohn.com/school. See the site for details. I promise you're going to love this underwear. It's absolutely the best. No close second. Here's the deal, guys. Remember, there's two types of certainty. There's logical certainty and there's emotional certainty, right? And in order to close at the highest level, you have to have both. You just do, and here's why. Because logical certainty is about the logical mind. It's about features and benefits, a cost-benefit ratio, a value proposition. When you make an airtight logical case to someone, they should be able to sort of go from A to Z or A to Z, depending on where you live in the world, right? And they can sort of connect all the dots and have an understanding of why what you're selling or recommending is empirically awesome. Like it just makes sense. It's not like there's no like secret sauce that can't be explained. Like it's this, it's that, it's step, 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 right? No gaps in the middle. That causes two things to happen. Number one, a person, the individual who you're trying to sell to, they understand themselves. They get it. They understand at a very high level why it's a great deal. And they, more importantly, then can now explain it to someone else. You see, when you have made an airtight logical case to someone, if that person gets challenged by their partner, their wife, their friend, why just, oh, I did it because A, B, C, they can explain it themselves. And there's a certain level of comfort that someone has when they can actually say, oh yeah, I made this decision because it makes sense, and here's why. So when you make the airtight logical case at a really high level, not only does someone understand themselves, but they're confident in their ability to explain to someone else. And because of that, they don't worry about being challenged for making a bad decision, or if, God forbid, someone says, oh, why'd you do it? You get it? So it eliminates embarrassment and so forth. So that's your logical case. It's A, B, C, 1 + 1, 2. It's in a straight line. It all adds up. So it's just, yeah, it makes sense. That's the best way to explain it. It's the numbers. It's the equation. It's the scream from the hilltops, undeniable logic of why something is a great deal, period, end of story. That's the logical case. The emotional case is very different. It's simply about skipping over all that stuff, all the minutia, jumping to the end point and saying, yeah, imagine it already works. We already got past that. And now the person sees themselves in the future using your product, good or service, or enjoying the benefit of that product, good or service, and feeling good. They're actually living the benefit in the future. Their pain has been resolved. If they were out of control in some aspect of their life, they feel in control. If they were worrying about something, they're no longer worried. That's emotional certainty. And again, that word I always use is future pacing, meaning that they are able to jump past the minutia, the ABC of it all, and say, yep, it just works. I got that. We're moving past that now. And imagine how great I feel 6 months from now driving down the road with the top down, the wind blowing in my hair for the car, or having the insurance policy and knowing that my family is covered no matter what happens to me, the risks have been removed and so forth. So a great airtight logical case is the explanation step by step, and the airtight emotional case is when the person visualizes their life down the road already enjoying the benefit and feeling good. What happens that in the absence of making the airtight logical case, if you just focus on the emotional case, the logical mind serves as a human detector. So if you try to impulse someone without essentially making the case of why it just, yes, you're right, it makes sense, their mind saying, bull, he's telling me how great I'm going to feel in 6 months from now, but he didn't convince me that it's actually going to happen. So this sort of convinces someone it's going to, yeah, it is going to happen, and this is how you feel. This is the one that says this will happen, and here's how you're going to feel. You get it? This makes it happen. This is how you feel after it happens. And those two together, so what happens is once you've made this scream from the hilltops airtight logical case, and the reason I use that scream from the hilltops is that, I mean, it's gotta be at this really high level, and just that takes work. That takes forethought. That takes sitting down and doing research sometimes and really taking time to plan out and say, how is the best possible way? How can I explain this to someone else so they get it? So they say, you know, oh, wow, I get, you know, all bull, you know, hype, all bull aside, this just makes sense. That's a logical case. Once you've made that, it then frees someone up to be moved emotionally. The bull detector is silenced. So once that's been silenced, you can now easily sweep someone away with their emotions, imagining how great they feel down the road. Without the logical case being satisfied, what happens? They'll start to feel good in the back of their mind up. Wait, someone's trying to take advantage of me and being impulse bull. That's why you have to have both. So in practical terms, what does that mean? Well, for me, when I know I'm doing my job, I know that I'm close. When I say to someone, after I run my first loop, and I've made my second, so now I made my initial presentation, right? I framed my airtight logical case. They say they want to think about it. So let me slow this down now for a second, so watch. So I'm in the sale where I've already completed the front half of the sale. This is your straight line, open, close, your boundaries above and below. I finished my front half by asking for the order for the first time. I asked for the order, and I was hit with a typical objection of, let me think about it. That was the objection I got. To which I said, I understand you want to think about it. Let me ask you a question. Does the idea make sense to you? Do you like the idea? Right? And I would use that perfect term. You know, do you like the idea? You know, all things be equal, hypothetically speaking. And the person says to me, yeah, it sounds pretty good. And immediately I know that I have work to do, because that level of certainty that I hear in his tonality says he's at a 5 or 6. 5 or 6 on the certainty scale for logical certainty is not scream from the hilltops airtight logic. It's someone saying, yeah, it kind of makes sense to me, but like I'm not really convinced yet. So when someone says that to me, what do? I enter their world where they are. I say, exactly, it really is a great deal. So I enter their world where they are, same level of certainty with my own tonality. I then loop back into presentation mode. I make that second follow-up presentation, and the follow-up presentation is even more poignant, more pointed than the first one. It builds on the first one, and by the time I'm done, I have made such an undeniably logical case. When I say to them, now, you see what I'm saying, John? They say, oh, no, yeah, now I get it. Now I get it. I'm not buying from you, but now I get it. So it's almost like they don't say the second part, but in their tonality, they say, oh, no, yeah, I love the idea. I'm not buying from you, Jordan, but oh, yeah, now I see it. That's all I want. So in my mind, when I ask that question, so now do you see After I make that first loop, you see what I'm saying, John? Does it make sense? They say, oh, yeah, no, wow. Yeah, wow. Oh, yeah, I get it now, Jordan. Yeah, it's great. I say, exactly. They're saying, I'm not going to buy from you anything, but now that I have them at a very high level of logical certainty, the rest becomes easy. So once I've done that, I take the logical case off the table. Now it's just, they say, yeah, I'll buy, but I'm not buying now, because that's what the logical mind does. The logical mind always wants to know more, find out more, and always wants to think about it. The emotional brain says, I gotta have this, and I gotta have it now. So what I do is I create that scream from the hilltops, airtight logical case up front. And then, once I've established that, then my patterns start focusing on emotion, future pacing, but I'll always put a little bit of knowledge in there in terms of logic, because I want to button up that certainty, because certainty wanes.